Hi guys, the Benidorm Enthusiast here, and one of the biggest months of the year is almost upon us. Yes, it is almost March, the month most people here regard as the turning point in the seasons, when it goes from relaxed and chilled winter vibes to absolute madness and complete Benidorm style chaos in just a few days. So what exactly happens in March? When's it all going to kick off, and what is the weather going to be like? All that will be covered on today's video, so stick around if you're heading out here in March so you don't miss any of the fantastic events going on and you can make the absolute best of your Benidorm holiday. Just before we get into it, I have to mention what a fantastic run of weather we've had this second half of February. To say this winter overall was pretty dreary. It was very wet, it was cold, it was grey. It was definitely one of the worst winters I've ever had since I've been living here over 20 years. But that did seem to turn around in the middle of Feb, and if this sort of weather continues into March, we are in for a treat. More of the weather later on. First of all, let's talk about the main events going on in Benidorm in March 2026. So, March in Benidorm, there is absolutely loads going on. First of all, let me tell you about a foodie event. This event actually runs over from the end of February. It started on the 27th to be exact, and it continues until the 8th of March. Jornadas de las Cucharas is one of the long-running gastronomic events that happens throughout the year in Benidorm. This one is dedicated to stew and soup type dishes, and there are 16 restaurants taking part, all of which have put forward a special 3-course menu which they will feature for the duration of the event, which focus on and celebrates this type of Spanish cuisine. Each menu has a set price of €25 per person, which includes a drink, and you'll find interesting dishes like seafood stew, fabada asturiana, lentejas, and all sorts of hearty Spanish dishes like that on offer throughout this event. Get round a few of the restaurants if you can, especially if you like trying new and interesting foods. I always find that these types of events encourage you to step out of your comfort zone a little bit when it comes to food, which is great. If this does interest you, we'll post a link in the video description below where you can get more information on all the participating restaurants and their menus. On the 1st of March, don't miss the celebrations for Andalucia Day. These will be extra special this year to show support for the terrible few months they've had down there in southern Spain, the horrific train crash and then all the flooding. So this year Benidorm will be decked out in green and white to celebrate Andalucia Day. There'll be a stage set up on Calle Mercurio from midday, which will be full of rhythm, tradition and flavour. A free tasting of Andalusian stew and music and entertainment from 2 p.m. that evokes the joyful spirit of the south. I'm not going to miss that this year. Having spent a couple of weeks down south this winter, I have a newfound appreciation for that part of Spain. I absolutely fell in love with the place, to be honest. Seville in particular, wow. And if you have seen that on our other YouTube channel, we've got a couple of videos on there. If not, check out in the video description below. There's another soul event at the start of March, the Spring Soul and Motown Party, which features 2 full days of soul magic at the Benidorm Palace from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 1 o'clock in the morning, with live bands and DJs throughout. And not forgetting all the pre-party build-up and warm-up buzz for this will be at the Soul Bar on Calle Ibiza. Following that, it is the week so many of you guys have been waiting for, where we're going to see all hell break loose in Benidorm, Cheltenham week. Easily one of the busiest weeks of the year for the British and Irish bars in Benidorm. It's absolute madness, and it just gets bigger every year. What started as a few people choosing to watch the races on the big screens in the sunshine, cheaper drinks, rather than going to the actual Cheltenham festival, has turned into, well, it's almost like a cult following now. There's tens of thousands of British and Irish that will descend upon us here in Benidorm to get some bets on and to watch the racing here in our bars. You can probably do the full 4 days here in Benidorm with flights, accommodation and booze spends for what it costs you to attend 1 day at the actual Cheltenham Festival. Add in that you've got a much better chance of some good weather here, it is a no-brainer for many. The weekend following Cheltenham, it's the final round of the Six Nations tournament, another sporting event which attracts loads of people from the UK and Ireland to watch here in Benidorm. If you haven't seen our video showing how the Six Nations started this year, check that out after watching this. We'll post a link in the video description below for that too. And that same weekend, there's another special event at the Benidorm Palace. A Beautiful Noise is the definitive tribute to Neil Diamond. It's an internationally acclaimed full production show paying homage to the music of the legend that is Neil Diamond. If that interests you, get your tickets by following the link below. Then, of course, the following week, on the 17th of March, we have one of the biggest days of the year when it comes to the bars again. St. Patrick's Day, of course, which this year falls on a Tuesday, and the whole town will be turning green for it this year. Paddy's Day celebrations in Benidorm have grown and grown in popularity over, I'd say, the last sort of 10 years. Pre-COVID it was big, but the few years since, when everything has been fully reopened, it has been another level completely. And the plans are to really push this day over the next few years and make it even bigger and better. Not only that, but also to spread the celebrations out around the town too. So it's not going to just be a big party on the strip anymore. It's going to grow and be an absolutely massive party that takes over the whole of Benidorm and is celebrated by all different nationalities too. In a recent meeting, we spoke about making Benidorm's St. Patrick's Day party one of the biggest Paddy's Day parties outside of Ireland in the world over the next 5 years, and we've got a few different plans putting into motion to make this happen. The first of which is happening this year. So if you are coming over for St. Patrick's Day this year in Benidorm, you've chosen a good one, because this year is going to be the start of something very, very special. Let us know in the comments if you're going to be here to witness it. We'll be out and about, of course, filming it all for you. If you're not able to make it over, make sure you give us a wave if you are here and you see us. And if you do want to come out and say hi to me while you're over here, you can find me hosting a pre-Paddy's karaoke party at Funky Flamingo on Monday night, and an extra karaoke party this year, St. Patrick's night at the Lucky Shamrock. Now, whilst all of that madness is going on, we also have one of the most important fiestas of the year here in Spain. The Fallas fiesta is ongoing, and that attracts many visitors from other parts of Spain from the 15th to the 19th of March. It's basically a celebration of the arrival of spring. There will be mascletas, fireworks, parades, marching bands all around over that week, finishing off with the crema on the 19th, which is also Father's Day here in Spain, and that's when you can watch the niños being set alight and burned as huge bonfires. If you've not got a clue what I'm talking about and you'd like to learn more about the Fallas, have a look at the video we put together a couple of years ago. It explains it all, and we'll post that in the video description below as well. And also keep an eye on our Facebook page. When we get the full schedule of events for the Fallas, we'll post them on there for you. After that, we might just have a little bit of calm, just for a week or so really, because Easter's holidays start at the end of the March this year. They're falling early this year. But also at the end of the month, we have the vertical climb of the Grand Bali Hotel. That's on Saturday, the 28th of March. It's Spain's most iconic tower running race, where participants are challenged to conquer the 52 floors and 924 steps of Europe's tallest hotel. My worst nightmare, to be honest, but if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. You've also got two opportunities to watch CF Benidorm play at home during the month of March. First home game is the 1st of March, and then again they play at home on the 15th of March. And if you'd like tickets for these games, you can get them from me at Funky Flamingo on the Friday before the game. Just drop me an email at thebenidormenthusiast@gmail.com beforehand to reserve your ticket. And you can, of course, go to the away games as well. The Supporters Club puts on a coach to every away game. And this is a regional league that Benidorm play in, so the away games are never too far away. Away games in March are scheduled for the 8th and for the 28th of the month. Towards the end of the month, we'll also see more attractions opening up their schedule fully. Mundamar Animal Park and Aqua Natura Water Park will be opening up on the 27th and the 28th of March. Terra Natura Zoo will also expand its schedule past just weekends, and all sorts of other excursions like the waterfalls, Guadalest Village, Villa Hyosa, they're already up and running, so there's plenty to keep you occupied if you do like to be out and about doing things on your holiday. And again, we'll post links for tickets for all the main excursions in the video description below. Finishing off with a bit more about the weather. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we have had a fabulous run during the second half of February, and it does look like it's going to continue into March, with temps continuing around the 20-degree mark at the start of the month, slowly increasing as the month goes on. We just need the wind to drop that little bit more and it will be absolutely perfect. Now, often in March we do have what's called the big pre-summer storm. If you've ever been here for it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It is a mega storm. Turns the streets into rivers. Doesn't last very long, but it is torrential rain, lightning and thunder if it hits. My prediction though this year is that the storm isn't going to hit until April. Watch this space. I think we've had such a wet winter, surely we are in for a good few weeks of nice, dry, summer weather throughout March, surely. Right guys, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if it's given you some good information about Benidorm in March. I hope to see you over here. If you are coming in March, come and say hello, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our fantastic videos coming up showing you all this great stuff going on. Also, check us out on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok at the Benidorm Enthusiast. Stay positive and stay safe.